test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Yes, man. What is going on? Well, we start off with them. What's up, man? What is going on? My favorite stock is on the move. That would be Uber. Check in on Uber. I hope you own some Uber. Should have bought some Uber. Let's pull up Uber. Bang. Man, oh man, oh man. Look at this down here. Look at this price of Uber down here. $23, man. $23 for at one time we could have bought Uber. We could have bought it at $23. And we could have bought it at $23. See that money flow pattern right there? I don't know why I'm getting throttled so much. So let's check in on the TQQ. You know, we're live day trade in my God, are you fucking kidding me? Come on, dude. I may have to abandon Instagram here. I don't know why they can tell. If I go live on Instagram and YouTube at the same time, they throttle me. I don't know how they know. Doesn't happen in Texas. Let me know you can hear me on YouTube. Yes. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know, there we go. Sounds like we're good on YouTube. Sounds like we're good on YouTube. Tony says, nope, I'm broke from buying real estate. I get that, but don't not buy stocks because you're buying real estate. You got to do both. You just got to buy small numbers, man. Don't go out of flow, man. I see a lot of my real estate friends go out of flow because you're buying real estate. Don't do that. They'll stop paying attention. They stop showing up. Don't do that. You fucking watch anyway. You buy one share. Move your shit to M1 Finance where you can buy $1 fucking dollar. And you buy $1 and you stay in flow. Stay in flow, man. I've been in flow of the stock market now for 21 years. And in the meantime, I bought 17 properties. I've had 3 or 4 businesses. Children, all that good stuff, man. Stay in flow. Don't let life steal it from you. I'm trying to get this to work here. Let's check in on Uber. Big move out of Uber. We had a big move out of Uber yesterday. Uber had previously opened at $29. So in a period of 3 days, we've gone from $29 to $36. That's a hell of a move, man, especially if you're sitting on a few thousand shares. Now, Morningstar reiterated, well, already moved past it. They reiterated their fair value of $68. I think they had dropped it down, didn't average down. Well, what you didn't do is trade with me, sir. You didn't train with me because we don't average down. We don't average down. Let's pause on that for a second. I've had to repeat this a lot lately in Discord. So do yourself a favor and listen to what the fuck I'm about to say, okay? Listen to what I'm about to say. We don't average down. People who average down are losers. Those are newbies. That is not what we're doing. We are adding to undervalued stocks when they set up on a stage 1. That's what we're doing. If that price happens to be lower, then yeah, technically, mathematically, due to numerical averages, that would cause your price point to go down. Okay? Listen to what I'm saying. Nobody gives a fuck what you paid for it. It has nothing to do with the value of the company, whether you should add to the stock. No one. Meaning you don't add to a stock because it's cheaper than when you bought it. That's a stupid reason. Well, I'm going to average down. No, you're going to buy more because it's a good fucking asset. Period. You buy more because it's good. You don't buy more because you paid a higher price. You understand that? I mean, this is a big distinction. It may not sound like it's a big distinction, but it is. Let's say you ran out and bought a condominium and you over fucking paid. I mean, you bought the top of the market on a condominium and then condos come down. Are you going to run out and buy another condo just because they're cheaper? What if cars went on sale? You going to buy another car because it's cheaper? No, you would do it strategically because that's part of your plan. So it's super important, and I don't know you, sir. I am picking on you, but I don't know you. My point is, change the way you're thinking. We don't average down. We buy undervalued stocks that are on a stage 1. Now you might say, well, I don't know what a stage 1 is. Well, then you should fix that. I text that out to the money flow this week. How about by fucking Sunday, everybody just fucking learns? By Sunday. No bullshit. Don't give me no, just do it. Just learn. Just learn it by fucking Sunday. Exactly what a stage 1 is. Exactly. Just learn it. And then learn what is a stage 2 and what is a stage 3. And what does it mean to trim profits? And what does it mean to buy? Like, fucking learn it. No excuses. Master that shit. That's the whole point of the Money Flow Trading Society, is for you to master stocks, man. Oh, hold on. I got to take some profits on this day trade. Look at this. Bam! Boy, we are crushing it today, man. Look at this. We got in over here, started to run. Got a little bounce, started to run, came back down, got stopped out, and then what? Waited, got back in, and here we go, baby. We've rode this thing all the way up. We've been long in this since 12 o'clock on the 1-minute chart. So what is that? Got in around 27.05. We just hit 27.65. Now, I trade 1,000 shares a pop, and I've been trimming as we go, so I don't ever catch the full move. Had a guy yesterday tell me I was unreasonable. Of course I'm unreasonable. It's called the alpha code. Stop choosing to be stupid. Learn. Okay? Make no excuses. None. Like, learn. Learn all this stuff, man. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to work your whole fucking life and be broke. Big move here, guys. I just trimmed another 25 shares, so I'm down to 450 shares right now. If you're in our live trading room. Let's see. Hold on. I don't want to lie to you. I'm down to 425. So I've dropped from trimming 100 shares to 50. Now we're trimming 25 at a pop as we move higher, because I don't want to let this move go without me, but I do want to lock in some gains. Was up, was up, was up. Anyway, trim some if you're still in it. I hope you haven't gotten all the way out. You want to let these things run. This is how we make up for losing trades, by letting these winners run, man. Just let them run, 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 run. Back to Uber. Somebody asked me if I was trimming ordinarily in the money flow. This is absolutely a trim. And if you bought it for a trade, I would honor that. I'm not trading Uber for a trade. I'm trading it for $50 to $60 cash out. So target, I mean, if you were trading it, I don't know why this thing is throttling me, man. I can't figure out how it knows. But yeah, this would be the money flow pattern right here, guys. This right here. Let's see. This would be your pattern, okay? This is your pattern. And that's what we caught here. You got it sideways, it popped up, and now look left, you're seeing so if I was trading this, I would trim it. I'm not trading it, so I'm not trimming it. My fear isn't that it comes down. My fear, what in the fuck is happening? My fear is that I don't have enough shares. So I'm trying to get to 3,000 shares. I don't know what's going on here, man. All right, let's check in on the Dow Jones Industrial. I'm sorry, I'm having internet problems here, man. It's really pissing me off. Yeah, it's super important. Yeah, the bandwidth shouldn't be low. I hear what you're saying. This is the fastest internet I've ever had. I don't know how they're doing this. Um, I'm still staying with we're in a stage 2 breakout. We've kind of come down. We're in this little area here. This is Dow Jones. No reason to be thinking negative. We had a pop. We'll see on the close. If we close down, then yeah, maybe we go back into a stage 4 decline. But as long as we're above this 33 250 zone, I think we're fine. There's no reason to be getting overly bearish or. See, look at this. I wonder how they know, man. I got to figure this out. How they know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill Instagram, man. All right, I'm gonna have to kill Instagram. I don't know how they know today. Yesterday it worked pretty well. It's just fine. Fuck, dude. I wonder how they can figure that out. I wonder how they know that. Let's pull up the SPY. That's rather frustrating. The SPY. I'm gonna try it one more time too. Bear with me, YouTube. The SPY is now closing back above the 20. It looks like it's trying to get back up there, which explains the run we had. That thing this morning was fucking ridiculous on the sell-off there. I have not sold DPST or any of the other ones yet. I'm kind of waiting on the close to see what's up. What's up on the TQ? Yeah, we're still running, man. Still just, you see how this pattern it's doing now? Where it comes into the 20, runs up, 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 comes into the 20, and it's just kind of bouncing along here. So pretty cool. Let's try it again. So let's pull Uber up. Come on, man. Man, look, Uber's up almost 12% again. Absolutely crazy, man. Hey, Sammy, what's up, man? Absolutely crazy, this move, man. No, it started again. What the fuck, man? keep an eye on this, man. We'll see if they get back above the trying Instagram again. I don't think it's gonna work, man. See if it gets back above the 20, but Uber's up almost 12% right now. So looks like SoFi got hit. All the banking shit got hit. Um, hold on, I'm typing something. Yeah. So, like we were saying, I'm not trimming any Uber here. You could, nothing wrong with that if you were trading it. And if the S&P comes down, so if the S&P 500 comes down, you're going to see Uber come down. It's almost impossible for a stock to stay up when the rest of the market is coming down. It's near impossible. He said Uber hits 46. You guys might not recognize me. Yeah, it would be pretty nice. Morningstar's jumped theirs back up to 60 something dollars. I know it was down to 50 something. They put it back. So S&P is now back above the 20-day moving average, man. So that's pretty cool. See if it closes. A lot of resistance here. And maybe we just build out this stage 3, but right now it's rejecting the sell-off, which means buyers have been coming in, man. Pretty nice. God, look at this, 12%, man. Yeah, they're not gonna let me. Check out. SoFi got hit hard. All these banking plays got hit hard. SoFi, Tree, KRE, Charles Schwab. I added some to Schwab this morning. I've added some to, what else did I add? A little to Bitcoin, added to gold, and we added to bonds. It's not going to let me. That sucks, man. That sucks. Well, let's read what they said over here on a second. Let's see. Morningstar said we're maintaining our fair value estimate of $68 narrow moat on Uber Technologies. The network effect cost decline. Together, this is driving up top line growth and margin expansion. The moat is also creating more pressure on the few competitors that remain, including Lyft in the United States. While we think Lyft has also benefited from higher demand, higher driver incentives likely pressured the margin. DoorDash remains the clear delivery market leader, but it may need to diversify its business to bring in more carriers, which is why we still think that the acquisition of Lyft will be the right strategy. Now, if you know me, I've been talking about Lyft as a takeout target. Now, I didn't think DoorDash would be the buyer. I honestly thought it would be Tesla or someone like that. But Lyft will be bought. The price is too cheap, and it'll probably be bought at a much higher multiple. Uh-oh. Hold on. Getting busted out of a trade over here. That was a great run, by the way. How nice. Keep an eye on that, and then we'll get back in. Hold on. Uber yet again generated free cash flow during the first quarter, and it is considered returning cash to shareholders. Wow, what? And it is considering returning cash to shareholders. A fucking dividend? Demonstrating confidence that it will expand margins. In our view, Uber shares remain attractive. They just said they might do a dividend. Are you shitting me? Total gross bookings increased 19% year over year. 31 billion, with 40% growth in mobility, 8% growth in delivery. On a constant currency basis, gross bookings in those segments increased 43%. Demand remained high with an increase in user count by 13% and total requests for rides at 24%, which drove usage frequency to 5.45 uses per month. Shit, I do that a week. Means the average person using Uber uses it 4.5 times a month. Uber's Instagram's jacked up, man. You know, they're talking about returning cash to shareholders, man. Woo. Would be kind of cool. Mobility, delivery revenue increased 72% and 23% respectively, while freight revenue declined 23%, mainly due to economic uncertainty. Mobility and delivery segments generated positive adjusted EBITDA of 1.1 billion and 288 million, representing 7.1 and 1.9% margins. Pretty good damn quarter, man. Yeah, I've been saying for a long time this is my favorite stock. Uber saves lives, dude. Uber changes transportation. And the other thing Uber does is something I learned from Warren Buffett. Once you have a huge base of users, you could just raise it $1. And if you got 2.1 billion, so all of a sudden, with just the just of a thing, you can make $1 billion. And I learned that from Warren Buffett explaining why he bought Coca-Cola. The reason he bought Coca-Cola is he broke it down and how many ounces they served a day, and that if you added 1 penny to every one of those ounces, the amount of expanded multiple over a period of a year was fucking enormous. Same with Netflix. Same with a lot of these type of subscription-based models. Very, very cool. We'll see. We'll see what they mean by return. I don't know what they mean by return money to shareholders. I don't know why they would do that, but they could. So let's look at another one that I talk a lot about. I think that's why it's fucking ripping right now. Is UAN. If it'll let me, I may have to get off Instagram, man. Yeah, it's not gonna let me. UAN is a fertilizer stock. We've talked a lot about this in Discord. I really don't text this one much. This was like a Discord play for us. It's very similar to Zim in that it returns shit tons of money. They just announced a $10.47 a share dividend. That means if you had 1,000 shares, they're paying you, or 100 shares, they're paying you $1,000. Instagram's not working, man. We're gonna end it. I don't know what's up with that, man. I don't know how they can do that, but they're doing it. I'm gonna call it. I can only do it so many times. So let's pull up this UAN. Now it's gonna throttle me. Period. Come on, man. I don't know about that, Gudson, about Netflix's. I mean, what are you basing that on? The stock is up like 5,000%, bro. You know that, right? I don't know why this is. Come on, man. God damn it. Anyway, the Netflix. I may have to end the live, man. I'm not getting anywhere here. It just starts pissing me off. Um, yeah, I don't know why you would. I mean, Netflix has made a lot of money, man. They've returned a lot. Um, I would agree with you on the content. Seems to kind of suck, but it's not like everybody else has killer content. I mean, you go to HBO, it sucks. You go to fucking Hulu, it sucks. I mean, they all suck. So I don't know who has the good one. Okay, we're back up. But let's look at let me look at UAN here. So this is one I've talked about. I had it on the B and B list. Anytime this thing gets below the 200, I would add shares. It's going to pull into the 200. Um, a couple months ago they had that big dividend, and that's what this run up was. If you look, a lot of times when this company announces a dividend, you're going to see this big run up. And that's what we saw here, this big run up into the dividend. So over here they announced a $10.43 dividend, and we could have just bought the stock for $82 over here, $84, and over here $90, and now the dividend is $10.47. Last year they paid $27, so that's a big fucking amount of money, man. So pretty impressive. I haven't looked at Netflix in a minute. Let's pull that up. Yeah. I don't know, man. Up until recently, I'd say it was working just fine. Shit ran to like $700. Huge downfall though, huh? 700 to 175. My God. This is another example. If you look at this, this is another example of it just depends on when you got in, right? So let's say you got in over here and you wrote it up and you were up pretty good, you're up 40%, and then this happens. Well, you're not very happy about the stock. Except for the guy that buys it here and rides it up to here, he's up 100%. You're still down 50. Now he's elated. He loves the stock. You're like, fuck, man, fuck this stock. You see how it all depends. I mean, those opinions are based on when someone got in, not necessarily the value of the company. You should be out of that day trade now, by the way. I was a little late sitting here fucking around with this. Nice run, though. So, boom, stage 4 decline, right? On the TQ, so 1 minute chart. So it's fractal. This was our stage 1. We rode the stage 2 all the way up. This was our 3. And then now we've sold off and we're into a stage 4. So I'll just watch this for a new setup to get back in, right? If we go to the 3 minute is on a sell signal as well. So again, stage 1, 2, 3, and now it's going into a 4, and it could easily sell off way down into here. So I watch it the same, man. I was watching. Yep, we'll see. So I'm out. Paramount Plus has some decent shows. I own WBD is one, as far as content, and Comcast, WBD. Let's pull that up. WBD's coming down. I got these shares free as a spinoff from AT&T. And so even buying over here at $9 when we were awarded the shares at $30, I don't consider this as lowering my price point. I just consider it buying an undervalued company on a stage 1. And sometimes you might buy an undervalued company higher than you originally paid for it. An example would be, say, McDonald's. Right? So here at McDonald's, like this is a stage 1. These are stage 1 buys, right? Aren't these stage 1s? But so is this, right? These are all stage 1 buys. But when I first bought McDonald's, I paid like $58. So am I, in effect, raising my price point? Is that what I'm doing when I buy? No, because I'm playing the game based on the value of the company. So if the value goes up, the stage 1s are going to go up. If the stock goes down, the stage 1s are going to be lower. So I would definitely encourage you not to see it as lowering your price point, because that's a stupid fucking reason to buy a stock. It is a really dumb reason because it may be a shitty stock, and you don't want to lower your price point in a shitty stock, you know. And some of that, I'm pretty convinced most of that is just tied up in ego, people wanting to be right, and you know, you'll have this same sense, man. You'll want to hold on to a shitty stock that you're down in because you don't want to quote lock in the loss. That is that is newbie language, guys. That's brokey language. Lock in the loss. The loss is fucking there. Look at your account balance. You know, you know. There's no, you're not. There's no that lock in the loss. That's all. That's nonsense. It's nonsense talk. You already lost. It already went down, and it makes it sound like the only way to get that money back is in that same stock, and that's just not fucking true at all. At all. It's not true at all. You know, you could have sold all of those, bought a shit ton of TQ right here, wrote it up, made $1,500 and got out. The bank's not going to say, oh, but did you do that in that stock you bought? Nobody cares. You know, that's just in your head. Now, Uber's in my brokerage account because I plan to cash in on it at some point and buy some property. Anyway, I think that stuff is super important the way you see it. You know, another one that I see a lot of people do, let's say we're talking about a stock, they always tell me if they're down in it. Like, I don't care. You know, like anytime I do a one-on-one with someone, say we book a one-on-one and we're looking at some stocks or something, they always preference the stock with how much they're up or down. And it's like, I don't fucking care, bro. It doesn't matter. That is not going to affect the decision whether I would keep it or sell it. You know, you're making it sound like that's important. It's not, because you could be up 300% and it's still a good deal. Like, you should buy more of that, even though you're up 300%. And you think, well, how can that be? Well, fuck, it might go up 5,000%. So if it went up 5,000%, was it a buy at 1,000%? Was it a buy at 2,000%? You know, so don't preference and don't make decisions based on what you paid for shit. Preference it and based it on what is this stock actually worth, and is this a good deal or a bad deal? Harvard did a thing called sunk cost analysis. Once you bought it, the money's in. Like, that's it. You know, So anyway, don't preference that. You're going to hear me say I'm up or down in a stock any certain. I mean, sometimes I might do that, but if I ever mention a stock to you, I'm not going to tell you how much I'm up or down. I own the stock. It's part of my portfolio, or I'm trading it, you know. And that's all you need to focus on, because it's going to take time, and it could take, you know, years. Like, I bought CSX trains, and let's look at CSX. And I spent oh, we're setting up, man. Come on, man. What happened to all my shit? You know, I was underwater for like 2 or 3 years in this stuff. And then, oh man, let's take it back. I started buying this bitch in 2012. No, it was 2015, 16. And they were having all these coal issues, man. And that thing fell big time. And it's not this price here, because the stocks change for stock splits and stuff, okay? So it was at the time, it was like $22, man. And so I bought it at like $22, and it fell to like $11. Well, they did a split here. That's why these numbers are in half. And so I was down, 50-something%. But that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking for stage ones so that I can buy shares in this undervalued company. And then you see, man, it just ran. It took a little while. It took almost a year for them to work out their problems, and then look at it. It just ran. I ended up being up like 400%. So 2 years later, it doesn't even matter that I was down 50% for a while. So, I would just remove that kind of shit from your vocabulary. All I care about is this pattern, and what is the value of the company. That's it. And as a trader, all I care about this pattern, and then where is price in relation to the pattern. Look, we're day trading. Look what's up. So check the 3 minute. What do we see? Oh, we got a stage 1 developing. Oh, come on, man. What just happened? excuse me, I'm going to buy a few shares. Ugh. It was a horrible fill. So I was late on that. So I got a horrible fill. So where I should have been filled if I was watching and not distracted was right here. And my stop would be right here. And my first target is right here. Get it? And so it's a 3, stage 4, stage 1, and I'm trying to catch a stage 2, which is this here. Might move against me. God, that was a horrible fill, dude. So if we check the higher time frame, are we seeing that setup? I don't like that we didn't get extreme. So stage 1, 2, 3, and then we went into a 4. We started getting our curl, and the MACD signaled that the down move is done. So stops like somewhere in there. And, oh, that was on 2 minutes. Not working. Oof. I might have been looking at the goddamn 2 minute. So we're about to blow out. Fast, huh? Can happen fast. We'll give that a second. Let's go back to Uber here. Uber's holding up. We'll see. It looks like the market's now turning to sell off again. There's the Qs. So it's back above the 20. So I prefer to trade it to the upside. So we got a nice move in gold. If you remember what I was saying, let's see. Can I talk about it on here? Okay, see where it says ideas and thoughts from Sunday night, 4:30:23. Possible breakout in UGL, meaning I was expecting gold to break out this week. Why? Because it didn't break down. And then now we're seeing that today. We're seeing that breakout. So I would expect this is a stage 1 and this keeps going. And the market moves higher. Or the gold market moves higher. And if I was treating this as a new trade, like I was saying, that what I added today, I'll take off if it breaks that, but this, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 1, this is where we got in, right? And then we added on the breakout, we ran it up, right? We took some off, and now the longer this is going sideways, the more I think this thing wants to continue running. And it doesn't have to go down. One way it can work off everything is through time. And that's what you saw. The RSI worked off through time. Everything worked off through time. Price didn't drop. So if price isn't dropping and all the indicators are working off that overbought condition, bam, it can set up to run again, man. So that, it's kind of what we expected. Obviously, I don't know where anything's going, but that was what I expected to happen. So like yesterday, I was adding to the trade. Or was it today? Whatever. About to get busted out. Look where it stopped right there. What's up, Jessica? Oh. I don't keep many non-dividend stocks in my buy and hold account, by the way. It's just hard to hold them. And it's hard to allocate money to them, I may have jumped the gun here. Bonds is the other one I added to this morning. Back in the box. We broke the box yesterday. A couple people asked me if we're selling it. I'm not selling this under any circumstances. We broke the box and now we're back into the box. That's pretty bullish. There's so much resistance here, but still pretty bullish. So I added to my bond trade this morning. Check Bitcoin. Easy way to own Bitcoin is BITO. Moved up a little back, basically holding that zone just like gold did. I expect it to go higher. Seems like everyone in crypto thinks they're a genius, and they seem to expect it to go down. God damn it. Bust it out, man. All right, we'll wait on the next setup. Let's see. Yeah, man, that's about all I got, man. It's not that exciting a week. It's good to see some of this shit coming through. I expected that. Oh, stage one setups in T and Pfizer. Stage one setup in Zim. And DPS carry. Those are breaking down, obviously. And I did a new swing trade in OOTO. Let's check out OOTO. Obviously, that's not going to work if the market turns south. And look at it doing just fine. I almost added to it earlier, but I didn't. So my stop is down in here, and my target is up in here. That's a swing trade, okay? Stop loss, target. Money flow rules apply. So we're in a big stage 1 with /2. So, we're risking $1, trying to make $2 to $3. Says, do you like trading BTI more than GBTC? No, I mean, I own both. I own GBTC in my SEP IRA. And if you notice, the charts look basically the same. GBTC is up 4.43%. BITO is up just 2.99. So we do have a little discrepancy there. You got to understand that GBTC is a trust, which is a different entity than the BITO, which is ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, which is based off of the futures contract of Bitcoin, where GBTC actually owns the physical Bitcoin. And so you're going to have some slight discrepancies, just like you do in gold. The physical price of gold is different than the futures price of gold, which is different than the price of GLD, even though they're all basically the same. I bought it just to try it. Yeah, nobody's chasing Uber, sir. Nobody should be chasing Uber. Yeah, I don't know. You just got to know BITO does not actually own Bitcoin. So it's just a derivative of Bitcoin. But I've been playing with that, and then also GBTC. But most of my money's actually in the actual Bitcoin itself. Let's see where actual Bitcoin is. How much is it up? Okay. I guess you can do some secret codes there. All right, so look, Bitcoin is actually up 1.89%. And BTIO is up 3%. Okay. And GBTC we saw was up 4.5%. So part of that I'm going to assume counts for that Bitcoin trades on a 24-hour cycle and these don't. And so they're catching up from a little bit of yesterday, maybe. I don't know. Is what it is. Yeah, Tesla's one I added to yesterday. Definitely not going to go up if the Qs go down, okay? It's just not going to happen. All right, now see, they're fucking with my emotions. So now I'm just going to take a smaller trade here in case this thing is fucking with my emotions here. Let's check the 3 minute. See, so on the 3 minute, I think earlier I could dip shit. I was looking at the 2 minute and it wasn't quite set up yet. There's your curl. The MACD, this is on a 3-minute. Okay, so I'm getting my stage 1 on the 3-minute chart, which is my higher time frame. So if I drop down to a 1-minute, obviously I want to see some confirmation, and actually I will probably start to see the breakout here first, right? So I want to try to catch that, which all the technical indicators are trying to break out. And my first target will be this first box over here, and then my second one. Let's see. And then, as always, we respect the RSI. So now we got the breakout. So let's watch this for just a second. This is like stage 2's in real time here. All right, give me my goddamn money back from that last one. I think I fucked up that last trade, guys. I think I was looking at the 2-minute, not the 3-minute. If so, I do apologize. That's how easy it is to fuck up. Now, I'm in on a smaller one here, just in case we're getting played with. One of my techniques, if I start losing, I have a natural impulse. I have a gambler's impulse. If I start to lose, I want to bet bigger. I don't know where that comes from, but if I start losing, I want to bet bigger. If my trades stop working, I want to make bigger trades. That is the exact opposite of what you should do. You should bet smaller. You should take smaller trades. Had a guy a while back. I tend to react quickly and say things quickly. Sometimes that can offend people. You might be on here. A guy hit me up and he goes, "Hey, I'm burned out. I'm trading, blah blah blah." And I was just, my first response is, "Well, doesn't sound like you love trading if you need to take a break." But that may not be true. I don't know his whole story. I don't know how long he's been doing it. Maybe taking a break is the right thing. I'm just responding off the cuff. And what he probably needed to do was just trade smaller. Just drop down, trade smaller, or start paper trading. I try to get everyone to paper trade the TQ. If you're gonna day trade, I'd rather you paper trade it than trade like a little bitch and buy 100 shares. Because you're not going to trade it right. You're not going to treat it right. You're not going to be able to enter and exit right. You're not going to have enough shares that it makes sense. So you're just not going to trade it right. You need to take 1,000 share pops. And you might say, well, that's unreasonable because I'm not going to be able to do that. And it's like, well, maybe if we think fucking bigger, we can do that. Maybe you can find the money. If you sit and practice and you become positive, here we go down again. See? Then maybe you could. Maybe if you bet on you, maybe if you believed in you, maybe if you worked as hard for you as you do your boss. I mean, you spend 8 to 10 fucking hours, 5 days a week working for someone else. And then when it's our time for ourselves, we just want to, relax and chill. Imagine if you worked just as hard for you as you did for your boss, man. What might be possible? Most people's time, when they get their time, it's spent on nonsense. And so then they live a very a life they end up not liking, because all their best energy, their best time is given to someone else and someone else's vision, someone else's dream, and then the time that's allocated to them is spent just doing chores and relaxing and mowing the fucking yard and doing whatever, man. Like, you get what I'm saying? I don't know how you answer that problem for yourself. I mean, I was picking on a friend of mine today, and he knows me. He knows I'm picking on him. That's why I don't have a lot of friends, because I really don't give a fuck if you're my friend. I'm going to tell you what I think. And that's hard for people. It's hard for friends to hear that when I'm like, whatever, dude. You sound like a little bitch. Your boys don't want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. And, I'm it's just the way I feel, bro. I can't help it. Because I think we need that, man. Even if I'm wrong, we need that, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe I'm totally off base. But just to have that voice in your life that checks you sometimes is a good thing, man. You don't want everybody walking around fucking agreeing with you. You don't want everybody walking around patting you on the back. Oh, it'll be all right. You just hang in there, and you just think, man, you don't need that, man. You can call your mama and get that. That's not what you want, man. Your friends need to be like, look, man, you look kind of fucking lazy, bro. Like, why don't you get up and do something? That's what you need, man. That's what you need. My friend Chemo, he's a rapper. He should be putting out a rap a week. Should have 52 raps out this week. 52, man. And you were like, man, but they all won't be good. Some of them will. Some of them will be awesome. Just because, I'm just randomly grabbed him because you'll be in flow, man. I was telling the guy trying to podcast the other day, you don't put out any podcasts, bro. Well, I'm like, nah, you're trying to get the shit right. Put it out, man. Push. Put out content. If you're a painter, start fucking painting. If you're a rapper, start rapping. If you're a writer, start fucking writing. It doesn't need to be good. Just do it. And through the process of doing, if you're a trader, fucking trade, So anyway, I can't imagine a scenario where I don't trade. So when I hear people give me their scenario, I'm sorry if I'm not sympathetic, but I'm not at all. Don't care. It's all bullshit. Because in my world, I can't see that, man. Now, we're going back below 20. That may be incredibly unfair, and you're like, oh, that's so unfair. Okay. Sorry. I mean, what do you want me? Sorry. If you're walking around looking for people to empathize and sympathize with you and understand, what the fuck, dude? Like, how? That's not going to help you. It's not. You need someone to remind you, hey man, maybe you got to push a little harder. Hey man, maybe you're fucking up, man. I know I need that. Let's see. Cues. How you got to stock, man? Yeah, he's a good rapper too, guys. There was a chick we got a little pop there. There was a chick I was coaching. She was a female rapper. And I really dug her stuff, man. We would do one-on-one calls. And God damn it, I bought 500 shares. Now it's ripping. And she was really good, guys. Like, I was like, wow, because I love rap music. And a white girl. And really good. And she had 3 songs out in a year and a half. 3. I'm like, 3? God damn, man. You could at least have 40 bad ones. But she was too worried about everything being perfect, and all of them were booked studio time, and she didn't have the money. Man, you don't need all that shit, man. Like, you can do that. Come on, man. I couldn't get her to see that, though. Guess what? Now she ain't rapping. Now she's hooked up with some dude, and they're having a baby, and she's moved on with life, and she's the mom, and it's like she gave up on rapping. I know why she gave up, because she didn't put out no goddamn rap. That's why she gave up. So that's my belief. That's what you do for me every time you post, GP. Well, I appreciate that. Let's see. TSLL's nice. TSR. Yeah, really a pretty boring day, man. I put out we'll see how the day plays out. We really need to see, good numbers out of Uber, of course. We need to see, trying to get back on my podcasting. I've been a little burned out posting on Instagram and shit, to be honest. So I'm kind of being a little bitch. Got a new one on mastering the trade. I've been for a long time ago, I did these things where I would just go for walks and talk about what was on my mind or what things I'd been talking to other people about. And I enjoy doing those. A lot of times there's a lot of background noise, and sometimes they can be weird. I was really going on this one because I like talking about the basics, and I'd been talking to this person and they didn't understand the basics at all. And I was trying to explain the basics and the big picture. And I was like, man, too bad I couldn't have recorded that conversation when I was talking to him, because it was really good. And then I was like, man, I should do some of those where I'm just walking and talking about that. And I was doing that yesterday, and I didn't even notice. It was nighttime. I'm in the French Quarter, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, right? I'm on some weird side streets. I didn't even notice that there were 2 dudes just, listening away. And, the one dude, he yelled over at me, hey man, I like what you're saying. It was funny. But then, you kind of realize, oh shit, man, maybe I'm kind of talking loud, man. But yeah, let me know if you like those. There's a dude I used to listen to a lot. He had He had a couple of them, but one of his was just that. It was just him walking. I always enjoyed those more than his production ones. And then the Science of Getting Rich. I got to get back on that. I'm on number 4. I got real sidetracked. Here we go. I'll be honest, man. I had some. I don't know. I don't know if depression's the right word. It's a weird word, but issues here recently, and all you can do is kind of work through it. But it does hurt trying to do creative work. That's one thing I liked about working on houses is like it don't matter what kind of mood you're in, you can paint. You don't need to be creative to paint. You don't need to be creative to cut a 2x4. But when you start podcasting, creating whiteboarding, doing content, interviews, it's not easy if you're not in a good, solid, creative frame of mind. If you're depressed or not feeling well, it's not really repetitive work like some things are, and um, it can be tough, man. Um, oh, you said you loved it. Cool. I like doing them. I need to do more of them, man. Um, I'm just kind of watching this. Everything's see what happens. Everything's a little boring right now. I almost set up another YouTube channel the other day just to live trade this TQ, man, just to document it, but afraid they're gonna too much bandwidth use. Oh, it's been set. Let's check out the Matic chart. I got a pretty big position in Matic myself. It's my third largest crypto. Yeah. Fuck. I'm gonna explain. So I'll use this chart and I'll use Pfizer's chart. Technically, this is below the 5-day moving average, right? So everyone knows that for me to be a stage 1, you got to get above the 5-day. Technically, though, we had an anchor and price did get above it. So once that happens, as long as it holds this anchor, I'll buy all up in here, even if it's below the 5. I hope that makes sense. I need it to get above the 5 at least once. What I don't like is it didn't get extreme. But that said, we've stopped here several times. And if you look left, previous resistance becomes support, right? So we got solid reasons to think this is support. I would be fine adding here, just knowing that it may just keep going down. So I think it's worth taking a shot if you're building a position. And if you were swing trading it, really low risk, because if it went below this, I would just bust out. So if I was swing trading this, I would probably drop down to a smaller time frame, like 30 minutes. And if you drop on the 30, we can see where you had it's already starting to pop and run. Pfizer has the same chart. Hold on. Damn it. See, we're coming down. Let's look at Pfizer. Pfizer had the same chart. Let me see if I can blow this up some. We had an anchor point. It ran up. We got above the 5, but then today it sold off. I would still add to this as long as this anchor point holds. I would consider that the stage 1 because it did get above the 5, even though it's now pulled back. But if it breaks this, I got to assume it's a stage 4 decline. Let it go and let it set up and let this pattern happen again where it stops, starts to go sideways, and gets above the 5. But I need it to get above the 5. Otherwise, I have no reason to believe this thing is done going down. AT&T is one too. The other day, like even right here, I was saying I wouldn't buy this. But then look, did we get above it? Yeah. But then look what's happening. It's coming down. And I was saying for me, I don't know. Be honest, I figured AT&T was coming down. I don't like to talk like I know because at the end of the day, I don't think anybody knows shit. I definitely don't think I know. But, you just watch it so much that, you start to kind of get a feel for it. And it's more sentiment than anything, market sentiment. Like, do I think the market will buy up AT&T. I absolutely do not. I don't think this is going to get bought anytime. So what I would rather see happen is this comes down into 15, 14 range, and then you see what happened over here. Once we got way below the 200, you see what happens. It explodes up. And I think that's exactly what will happen again, is it'll come down. Unless it gets down into here, I'm not interested in it. Personally. You might be starting a new position. Would I buy some here? Absolutely not. This is a stage 4 decline. Zim was another one people were wanting to add to. And obviously, you can add. And if you're in Discord and I say something, I'm not picking on you. I'm just remember there's lots of people that are just voyeuring in, man. And so I want to. They may think that you're a master of the money flow. You could have someone there that's brand fucking new, and they assume everyone there knows what they're doing, and so I feel obligated to say something like, "Hey, that's not a state. That's, you know." So again, not me picking on you. You can do whatever you want to do. I just want to make sure all the new people know that I'm not, you know, that I want you to know that's not the way the money flow would work. And it does. I mean, that's a reverse. This thing may go up. That's a reversal candle, but like, it never gets above the 5. You know, maybe that holds. Very well could. But if you look, the RSI is not extreme. It's not above the 5. Everything is pointing down. So, I mean, we got a little bit of a MACD. So, again, to me, not enough. I'm fucking greedy, man. I want it to be clear, you know? And really what I'm looking for, you know this, and for this, I'm looking for this. And that's what I want to see. I want to see this shit. That is what happens before big moves. If you remember, let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Me and Chris Johnson go back and forth on this. That whole sideways move we had for like 3 months over here. I mean, we were both talking about that was beautiful. And it started to run. It came right back into the box. I mean, that was, you know, that was a beautiful, beautiful move. XLE, I got out the other day. Think, you know, on this break here. And then it came right back. And I think I said we could get back in oil trade ERX. Now, these are thoughts and ideas that I wanted to get back in, and I didn't have the money. And then we've collapsed. So I would not buy this at all. This is not a buy at all. So if you buy this, you are not money flow trading. You're doing something else. Like, this is going down. And we got to assume it's going to come here. And if it goes here, that's the money flow pattern, right? Sideways up, sideways down, and it'll probably come down into there and stop. If you would have gotten in the other day, that would have been, yeah. I mean, that was a signal. But then now this would be a bust out. So if you were trading it, you got to ask yourself why you can't pull the trigger on that. If it's because you can't lock in a loss, then you're a terrible fucking trader. Because taking losses is part of trading. You're, you know, buying, holding it, or position trading it. Now, position trade is different than a buy and hold, than a trade. Position trade means you're going to buy all stage 1 positions, and that your plan is to build it up to be a much larger play. So to me, a position trade is a longer term trade where you're trying to trade volume and you're using time to accumulate the shares, believing that over time stocks go higher. So it's kind of a hybrid of a trade and a buy and hold is the best. And I call those position trades. So I'm trading the position. Now, when I learned position trading, traditional position trading was this. You would right now trim Uber. And ordinarily, I would trim it. If this was any other stock, I would tell you. I've just got a different thing going with Uber. To me, it's the greatest stock in the country. Don't be convicted on that just because I am. I don't know. Maybe I can be very wrong, and I've been very wrong in the past. Um, it's just the conviction level that I have, and so I have a very large position. I don't necessarily think other people should. Um, but that's classic. You would downsize the trade right here, and that would give you money to make other trades. I don't need money to make other trades, so I'm gonna hold this, fully anticipating that it comes down, and then hopefully it keeps going. But if you need money, by all means, trim it. Fuck. Oh. All right, we're back. Let me say something right there. In our day trading room, I try to commentate as we live trade this. That should not bust you out. One, it's still holding the stop zone, right? But two, I always wait for a confirmation candle, meaning I want one more candle that goes down to confirm this trade. And look what happened on the next candle. It went up. And if you've traded with me a minute, you've seen this over and over and over and over and over and over. Look at that. We're making money. One nation. One nation. You're Joseph, right, bro? Is that you? Joseph always sends me his homework every week. Let me know he's doing it. I had one guy the other day, I sent him a message. I said, hey, man, he's a Money Flow member. I hadn't heard a lot from him. And I said, hey, man, I sent him a message on Sunday night. Send me your Sunday homework, man. Let me see your board or your notebook. He got mad at me. I don't appreciate the pressure, Gerald. I have a lot going on. Okay, because I'm just sitting here playing with myself. I don't have much going on, so I did a board. Let's 3M. Man, 3M's got a lot of troubles. We all know that. A lot of legal troubles. I like it a lot more down here in the 100, sub 100 than I did up in the 120s. I'll tell you that. I never thought it was a good deal up in here. When they lose these lawsuits, it's going to really change the value of the company. I like it. I've been accumulating it, not aggressively, I'm going to be honest. But, here and there, I buy a share. You could buy one here. I mean, we're trading. When I say trading, I mean, we're charting off of this being the anchor point, right? Right around in here. So really, this is just one big box, man. Anywhere in here is fine. Yeah. So One Nation sends me lets me know he's doing it. This other dude, I asked for it, and he's like, I don't appreciate the pressure. I'm like, really? Is it a lot of pressure to keep up with your stocks? Oh, must be terrible. How do you survive with so much pressure on you? Let's see. That what that usually is that dude's given up, man. He just doesn't want to admit it. So I'm gonna randomly contact some of you, ask you for your homework. Let's see. That went pretty good when I did that I was gonna randomly contact people and ask them the difference between a closed-end fund, an electronically traded fund, and an electronically traded note. They're three different things as homework, just so people would go out and read and study the difference and contact them. We'll look at Amazon here. Look at Amazon. I'll wrap this up, man. Yeah, it's coming back, man. Honestly, I mean, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. If the Qs and the SPY can hold this 20 and we get this rally going again, I mean, you could see Amazon run up into this 117 range. So you could trade a continuation here. meaning, continuation is a trend that's already been going. Let's say you missed it. And, you could say, well, I'm going to take a shot that this thing continues. So you might get in and place a stop right here. And if it breaks that, well, then you got stage 1, 2, 3, and then you're coming down in a 4. So it's a very easy, low risk way to jump in on a trend that may or may not keep going. Here's another example. When it ran up, started to go sideways, pulled back, but then turned right around and went up. One of the things I used to do as a very short-term trader is I would put in an order to buy right there, and I'd put my stop right here. And then what I'm hoping is that the trend continues. And so I would just look for these opportunities and these little pullbacks in a trend that was already going. An example would be right here. It popped, started to go, pulled back over here. Well, I would put an order right above that. And if it got filled, then I would hope the trend would just keep going. Let's see. Never heard of this one. COSM. Cosmo Health. I think I'm getting sick, dude. All right, penny stock, huh? So I could see where it looks better on a 1-hour chart. Yeah, so you see what he sees. That's a good find, sir. And this shows the fractal nature of price, but sometimes you can find a price point or a time frame where it tends to work better. I mean, look at this. Stage 1, beautiful break of the box, jumps the stage, runs up. My rule, anywhere is a previous high, I start to sell into that. Didn't quite get extreme, but you should have took some off into that. Over here, we're out. So you made money on that run up. And then he just waits for the next setup. Look, comes right back down to where it was and stops. I mean, this is perfect money flowing. And I don't know that I think you might have caught that. It broke it, came back in. Now we're above the 5. There's our break. I mean, my God. And again, I would have sold some at that previous high. So right around in there, I'm selling. And then if you wake up and it does this, I'm selling if I'm trading. You got to. You're trading, right? It's a penny stock. Take the money. And you can see the pattern. It runs up, comes down. So, I mean, you had to fully expect over here it's going to do the same shit, and it did. And so, I would have sold some there, and then I would have sold some on the crossover. And, guys, that is... we're not on there anymore. But that is exactly the money flow pattern. Good find, sir. Play the shit out of that. That was working really well with Wells Fargo and Ford. I mean, they were right on the money. It was crazy how close how similar it was. The trick is then moving in and out. And I like to move in and move out in stages. I don't like to do it all in one swoop, man, because I like to give it a time to run if it's going to run. We had one of these going in bingo one time, and I'm doing small trades, $500, and it would run up, and this would be like $700, and then it would come down. I'd make a couple $100. I get in, eventually I'd get out here. It would come down. I would buy $500. It would run up, and each time it was like the run up was like 70, 80%. And I'm only buying $500 because it's a penny stock, and it can open down 40%. So you got to be careful. And then all of a sudden, dude, this motherfucker did a 5,500% run. It went from 50 cents to $15. And when you're up 400%, you're like, oh, I'm going to take my money and leave. But what if it keeps going? So I sold a little, and then the next day it kept going and going and going and going. By the time it finished, it was 5,500%. And I'm like, God, why did I trim so much? But I did ride the whole thing. I ended up turning $500 in like 15,000 in like 3 weeks. And then your first thought is, why didn't I put, $5,000 in there? That's traders. You're never happy. If you pull off a good trade, you still critique it. It's just the way trading is. So we're still in this. So remember what I said. I would take on that when we hit that first box. I wasn't even paying attention. Normally, I put a limit order on here, so we've hit it, right? So instead of being up $150, I'm only up $70 because I took a much smaller trade. That's all right. All right, so I just sold 100 of that, 500. Normally it'd be 1,000. And then I'm going to have right around in here. Again, this isn't science, just the previous high. And when I say previous high, a lot of times I mean the previous box. So it's just this zone. And now we're talking about this zone up in here. So if this can push up a little higher, I want to take some more off into here. I can't expect it to just go for days and days. It's not. It's a day trade. So it's going to get up into here. It's probably going to pause out like we did over here, come back down. Maybe we get lucky and we get 2 or 3 more of these. Well, probably not 2 or 3, but so see, now we're running for it. So ordinarily what I would do if I'm sitting at my computer is I would set a limit order and I would be like, hey, sell 100 shares at 26.60 or, right around in this area here. Sometimes I just watch it and manually do it, but you know how it goes in day. I mean, sometimes by the time you reach over and click the button, that bitch could drop 5 cents. So, or go up 5 cents. So I like to put in the orders if I can. And again, you see this. This is the money flow pattern. Same thing he's looking at here on the 1 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour. That was a nice chart, by the way, bro. Same thing he'd see. Sold off, stopped, started going sideways, breaking out above the 5, right? Everything's turned up. So same thing here, man. It sold off, everything stopped, everything started to turn. Boom, got my break, and then we started running. Same pattern. He's on a 1 hour, I'm on a 1 minute. Yeah. I love that, man. I love it. When people figure that, and then they go find them. That's one thing that's cool about the money flow gang is people find shit that I don't see, And then as they get more and more into it, I get text messages from people at night. Hey, man, have you seen this? I love that shit. You never bothering me. Even if I don't act excited about it, maybe I have seen it. Maybe there's some reason I don't like it. I still like getting those messages because it tells me people are looking and, they're trading. What I don't like getting is the, sorry, I've been gone, Gerald. And this going on and this going on. Blah! Fuck. I'm not sympathetic for myself. I'm not definitely for you. Let's see. Check this Wells Fargo. Look at this Wells Fargo pattern, dude. Beautiful, huh? Ford was doing it, and then it kind of stopped a little. Wow, look at these 1 hour time frames too, man. All right, I'm still in this DPST, man. It dropped so big right there, I'm hesitant to pull the trigger here. So, give this a minute. At this point, it's such a big down move so fast that at this point, I'm just going to let it play out, man. Hey, man, I appreciate everyone in there. If you have any problems, let me know. If you need any help, man, let me know. If you come across something worth looking at, let me know. I'm always looking, as you know. All right, so we're selling off, right? I'm going to want a confirmation. Sometimes waiting on that confirmation can cost you, but a lot of times it helps me. And that one's kind of fallen with vengeance. So everything just went negative on us. So it's a good thing we sold in here, right? So we sold in here. Now we have less shares, so it's kind of going against us less, is the idea. Now, a lot of times on that first sell, I might sell half the position, which at least locks in some gains. And then it means at least if it turns on you, you're not going to lose any money on this trade. If you trim a very small amount, then you actually could technically lose money on this unless you got in down here. See, we're already. So I like to wait for another candle to confirm this. And if this next candle is above this candle, then I stay with the trade. You get what I'm saying? So now this is my point of departure. So my stop is organic, means it's structure. I've heard listen to a guy the other day say never move a stop. I don't know why. If the structure of the market changes, why wouldn't I move it? I don't know what that means. So I don't use hard stops. I'm just using zones. So if this doesn't hold right here, then I'm gonna be busted out. If this see, now we're headed back up. So if this holds and we get back up into here, I'm gonna move this fucking stop, man. So to me, yeah, I will adjust them, and I've had people say never move them down. I would genuinely agree with that, but I don't know that I can say that 100%. If you have a little expertise or experience, there might be a reason to. Off the top of my head, I can't think of what that would be, but those kind of hard and fast rules. Think of this, man. If there was a series of hard and fast rules that always worked, AI would run it on a computer, or everyone would follow the rules, everyone would be rich. So that tells you there is no such thing. There is no perfect system, strategy, or indicator. Because if there was, computers would just do it, and then it would stop working. So I think there's just basic concepts, and then you might create rules for yourself that simplify. Like for me, the anchor point, the apex, stage 1 and 2 are pretty hard defined. Prices got to get above the 5. But there's a lot in there that's a little flexible, like how you're using it, where you might take profits, Anyway, I don't want to get too far in the weeds and make that confusing, but just remember that if you're searching for some system or strategy that, nobody has one. And any guy on YouTube that claims he has some rule-based thing, it's just going to work, that's nonsense. Other computers would just find it like that. Everybody would be doing it. Warren Buffett would be doing it. He's not too stupid to hire programmers. Like, everyone would do it. And so we just have guidelines and views and pictures of the market. And we might create rules for ourselves, and see how we're going back up. And that rule that I have for myself of waiting for a confirmation, while a lot of times could save me, the confirmation could have been a gap down here and then bam, and then you really took a hit. But in my experience, most of the time, I get a better chance to get out. Meaning I get and you see us, we're creeping up now. And if you weren't in that trade, you could have played the reversal. And you're like, what do you mean? Well, you could have put a order, if it gets back up here and keeps going, I'm gonna get in, and then now you'd be getting in. And then it comes in, and you see that little candle there, you could put an order right above it, and if it breaks, you're back in on the trend and you're riding it up. So that's just jumping in on a move that's already started. And see, there we go. So it's a good thing we didn't get stopped out right there, right? Anyway, I know not everyone has time to sit at a computer like this, so you can back it up, man. We got people in our group that are trading on a 15-minute chart. So if we back that up to a 15-minute chart, he just got a buy signal. And when I got stopped out, he's still in, and he's still in now. And so look at these moves. You got long here, and this ran for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days. So when I meet a guy, it's like, I don't have time to trade, Gerald. I don't have time. And it's like, you don't have time to look at a chart one fucking time when you're sitting on the toilet and then to close the trade the next time you're like, bro, stop it. You just have to change your time frame to fit your lifestyle. Like, you actually have to want to fucking trade. And if you adjust things to that, you can. Everyone has time, okay? You just got to find the time frame you want to use. And you could back that up and go to a 1 hour, like my friend's doing on the Cosmo. If you look on a one, I mean, to me that's too choppy though. Look at this shit in here, man. So I can't use the 1 hour on this, but you could just sit and play with it and find your time frame, man. Again, 2 hour. I mean, honestly, I'd either rather be on the lower or just go to daily. I mean, look at that. There's a breakout on the daily. And the next time you got to do something is February 6th. It's a fucking month up. For 1 month, this thing went up. 1 month. Look at this. That took 15 seconds. That took 15 seconds. Closing it caused 15 seconds. So this whole 2.5 month run, if a guy knew how to trade, took him approximately 1 minute to probably execute on all of that. I don't have time. So whenever you hear people say, don't feel sorry for them, they're lying. They have time. They just don't want to trade. Um, let's see. That's it, man. Keep it out, man. This DPST has me pissed. I'm not closing it today. Fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see what it does tomorrow. Appreciate you guys, man. I might come back to get on Instagram. I feel like I needed to hit that a little more. So you guys have a great day, man. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can go out to some. Oh, did I close it down? I was gonna try to go out to some good old music, but it looks like I closed it down.